No one in that dark room knows that in the very moment their eyelids fall shut from exhaustion, they are racing through the universe at a terrifying speed. And even fewer would imagine that the sky they look up at every night, that thin band of light that seems so gentle, is in truth the remnant of massacres that have lasted for more than 13 billion years. The storyteller does not step out from the light. He steps out from the darkness between the stars, from the place where every sound is swallowed and only the silent rotation of a colossal galaxy remains. He sees everything. He sees the room where someone has just closed their eyes after a long day. He sees their chest rising and falling more slowly. He sees their final thoughts drifting downward like withered leaves. But at that same moment, he also sees another reality, wider, deeper, and far more terrifying. He sees the entire Milky Way turning. It does not turn like a painting. It turns like a living empire, slowly, silently, without mercy. From the outside, the Milky Way looks like a soft ribbon of light stretched across the abyss. People have given it gentle names. They have turned it into a symbol of romance, of dreams, of whispered prayers beneath the night sky. But that is only the beautiful mask worn by darkness. Beneath that light lie torn rivers of stars, crushed clouds of dust, invisible forces tightening their grip on everything until it must bow before the laws of the universe. And in the middle of it all, humanity believes itself to be small, fragile, almost meaningless. They were wrong. The storyteller knows this well. He knows that in that room there are people who believe they are nothing more than delicate creatures lying on an ordinary planet, orbiting an ordinary star, in a very ordinary corner of the universe. They are underestimated by everyday life. Bills, disappointments, heavy mornings, and long silent nights press them into believing they are nothing more than nameless dust. But the truth overturns every one of those judgments. Because what lies quietly on that bed is not merely a human being. It is the descendant of dead stars. In their blood, there is iron forged in the cores of giant stars. In their breath, there is oxygen that once erupted from explosions more violent than any war humanity has ever known. In their bones, in their hearts, in every tired cell within them, the old universe is still breathing. They believe they have come only to ask for a peaceful night of sleep. But tonight, the galaxy itself will whisper the truth of who they really are. Not wanderers, but beings who have belonged here since the first dust. The storyteller pulls the curtain of night a little wider, and the Milky Way appears. Not from the sharp images of telescopes, but from the most primitive feeling humans experience when they look up at the sky and suddenly realize they are standing in the middle of something vast beyond comprehension. A blurred band of light spilling through the darkness like a glowing scar across the body of the universe. Beautiful enough to steal the breath away. Yet the more beautiful it appears, the more carefully it hides its cruelty. This galaxy has devoured other galaxies in order to grow. It has pulled smaller worlds into itself, torn them apart into long, cold rivers of stars, then calmly worn those remains like a cloak of victory. Stray stars still drift within that halo of light, like survivors who are never allowed to forget they once belonged to another home. The Milky Way is not a peaceful dome hanging above humanity. It is an ancient conqueror, a survivor of countless collisions, a being so silent that people mistake it for kindness. But the first revelation of this night does not lie in that cruelty. It lies in the fact that even as a colossal machine of stardust, gravity, and darkness, the Milky Way has not yet finished its story. It is not old and still. Even now, in the quiet that makes humans believe everything has fallen asleep, the galaxy is still growing. Gas continues to flow inward. Stars continue to form. Invisible streams of matter quietly feed its skeleton from the outer darkness. It is still writing its own destiny, and it is pulling ours along with it. Somewhere beyond ordinary imagination, the solar system is still racing around the center of the galaxy at a staggering speed. No wall trembles, no glass on the table shifts, no one feels the wind of the universe striking their face. Yet everything is flying, silently, precisely, irresistibly. Earth turns, the moon drifts, the sun pulls its entire family of planets behind it, and that whole system crosses the Milky Way like a small boat caught in a vast black current. That is the most beautiful paradox of existence. The more still humans lie, the more they are moving. The smaller they believe themselves to be, the more they carry within them the power of the entire history of the stars. The storyteller knows that some people feel afraid. Some feel a chill run down their spine when they realize the night sky has never been only a gentle shelter. Some feel their hearts tighten with an ancient loneliness, the feeling that they are too small before the endless void. But he also knows that within that fear, something else begins to grow, slower, deeper, warmer. Recognition. The recognition that they were not thrown by mistake into this universe. The recognition that they are not merely standing outside the galaxy and watching it. The recognition that they are a part of it. And it is here, when the night has grown deep enough, when breathing has slowed enough, when the noise of a weary day begins to fade away, that the true door finally opens. Not the door of sleep, but the door that leads into the largest home humanity has ever known. A home not built from stone and brick, but from stars, dust, darkness, and time. The most underestimated being in this story has never been the Milky Way. It has always been humanity itself, because humans believed they were only travelers passing beneath the night sky, when in truth they were born from it. And tonight, before sleep takes them, the galaxy itself will whisper that truth again in the oldest voice it has ever known. There is a secret that most people have never been told. The galaxy we call home was not born in peace. It was born in war. And the truth is even more unsettling than that. The Milky Way that humans look up at every night was actually built from the remains of other galaxies. No one in that quiet room knows that while they close their eyes and allow sleep to carry them away, ancient wounds of the universe still exist in the sky above. The storyteller can see them. He sees thin streams of stars like mist stretching across hundreds of thousands of light years, crossing the galaxy like scars that will never heal. Those streams of stars were not born here. They are the remains of worlds that once had homes of their own. Long ago, when the universe was still young and chaotic, small galaxies drifted through the darkness like lonely islands. Some were fragile, some were brilliant, some were filled with young stars burning fiercely. But when they moved too close to a giant like the Milky Way, their fate was almost always decided. Gravity began to pull. Slowly at first, almost impossible to notice. The stars at the edges of the smaller galaxy began to slip from their orbits. Gas and dust were stretched into long threads. Then one day, everything passed the point of no return. The entire small galaxy was pulled apart, stretched and torn into pieces. Its streams of stars stripped away from their home and drawn into the rotation of the conqueror. The storyteller can see one of those victims still dying even now, the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. It was once a world of its own, a small cluster of stars circling its own center, carrying planetary systems, clouds of gas, and stories that had never been told. But when it drifted too close to the Milky Way, everything began to change. The enormous gravity of the larger galaxy pulled it apart little by little. The first stars were torn from their orbits, then more and more again. Now that galaxy is no longer a galaxy. It is a long stream of stars stretched across the sky, a cosmic body still being stripped away piece by piece. But this is not the only twist in the story, because within that cruelty lies another truth. The Milky Way does not only destroy, it absorbs. The stars torn from their former galaxy do not disappear. They become part of a new structure. Some drift into the ancient halo. Some merge into the galactic disk. Some wander along strange orbits, like exiles who will never again find their old home. The storyteller sees them clearly. Stars that rotate in the opposite direction of the galaxy. Stars that travel along strangely tilted paths. Stars with unusual chemical compositions, like travelers speaking a language no one else in the galaxy understands. They are the immigrants of the universe, the survivors of ancient mergers, the reminders that the Milky Way is not a perfect structure born in order. It is a gigantic mosaic assembled from dozens of smaller galaxies that have been devoured across billions of years. And that story is not finished yet, because far away, beyond the dark emptiness of the local universe, another giant is approaching. Andromeda. From Earth, it appears only as a faint glow in the night sky, like a small cloud suspended in the darkness. Humans observe it through telescopes and see the quiet beauty of a spiral galaxy, much like their own home. But the storyteller knows what the naked eye cannot see. It is moving closer, slowly but with certainty. Two enormous galaxies are racing toward one another in absolute silence, pulled together by a gravity that cannot be resisted. There is no crashing sound, no explosion of fire like those imagined in human films. There are only hundreds of billions of stars beginning to change their orbits, like grains of dust caught in a colossal storm. Then one day in the distant future, the two galaxies will touch. Their spiral arms will stretch outward like ribbons caught in a violent wind. Massive rivers of stars will be thrown from their old structures, curving through space like bridges of light. The central black holes will begin to circle one another, slowly but inevitably. A colossal dance, a merger that will last for billions of years. But the real twist of the story lies here. Even though it sounds like the end of everything, almost no stars will actually collide. There will be no chain of explosions, no instant destruction. The distance between stars is far too vast. Galaxies can pass through one another like two enormous clouds of mist. What changes is not the existence of the stars. What changes is the shape of the entire local universe. After billions of years of twisting together, the two galaxies will merge into a completely new structure, a colossal galaxy that is older, larger, and carrying the history of both ancient giants within it. The storyteller can see that moment from far away. And he can see something else as well. Amid all those immense changes, a small star system continues quietly along its orbit. A simple yellow star, a tiny blue planet, a place where fragile creatures once believed they were too small to matter. But the truth turns once again. Those creatures are not merely spectators of the cosmic story. They are the product of it. Inside their bodies are atoms that once belonged to galaxies that were devoured, atoms that traveled through colossal collisions, atoms that lived through many galaxies before finally finding their form inside the human body. They believe they are only beings sleeping beneath the sky, when in reality, they were born from the ancient wars of galaxies themselves. And while they sleep, the Milky Way continues doing what it has done throughout its entire history, continuing to grow, continuing to devour, continuing to prepare for the great collision waiting in the future. No one feels it. Not a single human sleeping on Earth feels their body being pulled forward at a terrifying speed. Yet the truth is still happening. At this very moment, the entire solar system is racing through the Milky Way at a speed of more than 800,000 kilometers per hour. And the most astonishing thing is that no one notices. The storyteller sees that motion as clearly as someone watching a storm from high above. He sees an ordinary yellow star, the sun, pulling its family of planets behind it, like a shepherd guiding a flock across the dark fields of the universe. Earth circles around it. The moon circles around Earth. But all of those smaller motions are only rotations within a far greater movement. The entire star system is running around the center of the galaxy, a colossal orbit, a rotation so vast that humanity can barely imagine it. The storyteller pulls his view farther away, beyond the bright clouds of stars, beyond the spiral arms of the Milky Way. And there, the true structure of the galaxy appears. Not a perfect circle, not a tidy flat disk like the illustrations in textbooks. Instead, it is a colossal living body, a body that is turning. Its spiral arms stretch outward like waves of light curling around the galactic center. But they are not rigid structures, not fixed roads where stars remain in place. That is the next revelation of the story. Those arms are actually waves of density moving through the galaxy. Stars move into them, then move out again. Clouds of gas are compressed as they pass through those waves. Pressure rises, matter collapses. New stars ignite like bright blue sparks. Then after millions of years, they drift away from the spiral arm, leaving behind a quieter region of space. The spiral arms are not places where stars permanently live. They are waves that create stars. The storyteller sees our sun drifting through one of those quiet regions. It does not lie within any major spiral arm. It is not in a crowded place. It simply travels along a smaller branch called the Orion Spur, a modest stellar path lying between two great arms of the galaxy. And this becomes one of the silent twists of the universe. The place where humans once believed they had been pushed to the edge is in fact the perfect place for life to exist. Inside the great spiral arms, stars explode more often. Supernovae light up the sky and tear apart nearby planetary systems with deadly radiation. Dense clouds of gas collide constantly, Stellar orbits are disturbed. Those are the crowded highways of the galaxy. But where the sun is drifting is different. It is a quiet road, a suburban region of the galaxy, a place stable enough for life to have time to evolve. Yet the movement of the solar system is not confined to the flat plane of the galaxy. The storyteller sees something else that most humans have never imagined. The sun does not simply circle the galactic center. It also rises and falls, slowly, gently, like a boat moving across a giant wave. Throughout its journey around the galaxy, the solar system oscillates above and below the plane of the Milky Way. Over tens of millions of years, it gradually drifts upward away from the disk of stars. Then gravity pulls it back again. After that, it sinks below the other side of the galactic plane. It is a colossal rhythm, the breathing of the galaxy. The storyteller sees this path stretching across hundreds of millions of years. One complete orbit around the galactic center takes about 225 million years, a single galactic year. And here comes the next revelation. From the moment Earth was born until now, the solar system has completed only about 20 orbits around the galaxy. 20. A number so small it is almost astonishing. The last time the solar system passed through its current position, the continents of Earth were still joined together as a massive supercontinent. Dinosaurs had not yet appeared. Ancient forests spread across the planet. The entire history of human civilization, every empire that rose and fell, all of it happened within only a tiny fraction of a single galactic year. The storyteller looks into the dark room where a human is sleeping peacefully. They believe their life is long. They believe time passes quickly. They believe their world has already changed so much. But compared to the motion of the galaxy, all of it is only a brief breath. Then he looks deeper into the structure of the Milky Way and realizes something else. This galaxy is not perfect. Its disk is not flat. It is not balanced. It is not symmetrical like the beautiful diagrams found in astronomy books. One side of the galactic disk bends upward, the other bends downward. The entire structure looks like a gigantic disk that has been warped and twisted, a bend that stretches across hundreds of thousands of light years, a distortion created by the gravity of satellite galaxies, by streams of dark matter, and by the long history of cosmic collisions the galaxy has endured. The Milky Way is not a static structure. It bends, it vibrates, it changes. And the final twist of this part of the story lies here. Humans often believe they are standing still beneath the sky, but the truth is the opposite. They are flying. They are racing through the galaxy at unimaginable speed. They are drifting up and down along the gravitational waves of the galaxy. They are orbiting the center of a colossal structure that they themselves have only just begun to understand. And all of it happens in absolute silence. No wind, no vibration. Only a natural spaceship called Earth carrying billions of living beings who are sleeping, dreaming, and living their small lives. Meanwhile, the galaxy continues to turn slowly, endlessly, carrying all of us along its journey that lasts hundreds of millions of years. A star can lie. Its light can deceive human eyes for millions of years. But there is one thing a star cannot hide: its blood, its composition, and it is there that the galaxy has hidden its entire true history. In that quiet room, a person is sleeping, completely unaware that in the sky above there are stars carrying secrets older than any civilization that has ever existed on Earth. The storyteller sees them clearly. He looks into the light of each star and reads something the naked eye can never see: a fingerprint, a chemical signature, a record left by the universe itself. Every star is born in a different environment. Some are born when the galaxy has already become rich in heavy elements, when earlier generations of stars have exploded and scattered their material into space. Those stars contain more iron, more calcium, more heavy elements. They are the descendants of stars that died before them. But there are other stars, older, fainter, quieter. These stars carry almost no heavy elements within them, only hydrogen, only helium, the original ingredients of the young universe. And those stars reveal the greatest twist of the story. They do not belong to the Milky Way. The storyteller sees them drifting through the halo of the galaxy, moving along high, tilted, long, and unusual paths. They do not rotate in the same direction as most other stars. Some even move in the opposite direction of the galaxy itself, like travelers swimming against the current of a colossal river. Astronomers were once puzzled when they discovered this. A spiral galaxy should be orderly. Its stars should move in the same direction, just as planets circle the sun. But reality turned out to be different. Some stars refused to follow that rule. They moved backward. They tilted. They wandered along paths unlike any others. And when scientists began analyzing their chemical composition, the real secret appeared. Those stars were born somewhere else. They once belonged to other galaxies. They are the remnants of worlds that the Milky Way has devoured. The storyteller sees the entire picture stretching across billions of years. Small galaxies once drifted into the gravitational pull of the Milky Way. They were torn apart. Their stars were stripped away from their homes. But they did not disappear. They carried the memory of their former galaxies with them. That memory exists within their light. A different ratio of metals, a different mixture of elements, a different history. Astronomers call this method galactic archaeology, but the storyteller understands it more simply. It is the act of reading the diary of the universe, a diary written in light. Within that diary, there is a particularly famous chapter, an ancient merger known today as Gaia Enceladus. Billions of years ago, a fairly large galaxy collided with the Milky Way. It was not a violent crash like the ones imagined in human stories. It was a process that unfolded over hundreds of millions of years. Two galaxies twisted around one another. Stellar orbits were disrupted. The structure of the Milky Way changed. And when everything was over, the other galaxy had disappeared. Yet its stars remained. They move through the galaxy today like ghosts of a world that no longer exists. The storyteller sees them gliding across the galactic sky, one star at a time, carrying the story of a lost homeland. Some travel high within the halo, some fall into the galactic disk, some move along long tilted paths, like leaves caught inside the enormous whirlpool of gravity. But the next revelation goes even deeper. Not all ancient stars came from other galaxies. Some are older than the Milky Way itself. The storyteller sees those stars burning faintly in the distant halo. They are so poor in heavy elements that they contain almost nothing except hydrogen and helium, the primordial elements of the universe. They were born before the galaxy had taken shape, when the universe was still young, when galaxies were only clouds of gas collapsing under gravity. Those stars are like living fossils. They carry within them information from an era when most cosmic structures had not yet formed. When astronomers look into their light, they do not see only a star. They see the past of the universe. The storyteller observes this and smiles quietly in the darkness, because this is the most beautiful twist of the entire story. Humans often believe a galaxy is a fixed structure, a stable city of stars, a place where everything has existed unchanged for a very long time. But the truth is completely different. The Milky Way is like a colossal river. Stars drift in, stars drift out. Small galaxies are devoured. Generations of stars are born and then die. Everything moves, everything changes. And within that river, even our own sun is only an immigrant. No one knows exactly where it was born. Research suggests the sun may have formed in a different part of the galaxy and slowly drifted to its current position through billions of years of motion and gravitational interaction. Even the star that nurtured life on Earth may be a wanderer. The storyteller looks again toward the dark room where a human sleeps peacefully. They believe they were born on this planet. They believe this is where their story begins. But the deeper truth is far older than that. The atoms inside their bodies once belonged to other stars. Those stars may have been born in other galaxies. Those galaxies may have been devoured billions of years ago. Human beings are not only citizens of the Milky Way, they are the descendants of many different galaxies, a cosmic bloodline, a history written in the light of ancient stars that are still burning in the night sky. There is a force holding the entire galaxy together, a colossal force, invisible and more frightening than anything humanity has ever imagined. If it vanished for even a single moment, the entire Milky Way would shatter like a disk thrown from someone's hand. Yet the strangest thing is that no one has ever seen it. The storyteller looks at the galaxy from a perspective no telescope could ever reach. He sees the stars orbiting the galactic center like grains of dust caught inside a gigantic storm. Hundreds of billions of stars, each carrying its own planets, all rushing through space in a slow but irresistible dance. At first glance, that motion appears perfect. But when scientists began measuring the speed of the stars at the edge of the galaxy, they discovered something that shattered every existing theory. The stars at the outer edge of the galaxy were moving far too fast. So fast that according to every classical law of physics, they should have been flung out of the galaxy long ago. If the Milky Way contained only the amount of matter humans could actually see, then its gravity would not be strong enough to hold those stars in place. By simple logic, the galaxy should have fallen apart. But it did not. The stars kept turning. The orbits remained stable. The entire galaxy continued to exist. That was the revelation that forced astronomers to rethink the entire universe. Because if what they could see was not enough to explain the gravity of the galaxy, then there could be only one possibility. Something else had to be there. Something invisible. Something enormous. Something that made up most of the galaxy's mass. The storyteller sees it more clearly than anyone. A vast halo surrounding the Milky Way, not shining, not reflecting light, not emitting any signal the human eye can detect. Yet its gravity stretches across hundreds of thousands of light years, holding the entire galaxy together like an invisible skeleton. Dark matter. The name sounds simple, but its true nature is one of the greatest mysteries humanity has ever faced. It is not gas, not stars, not dust. It does not interact with light in any way humans can understand. It passes through ordinary matter as if everything else were only a ghost. And yet it is heavy, extremely heavy. The storyteller sees this clearly. The bright disk of stars in the Milky Way is only a thin glowing shell inside an enormous invisible mass, like a city of light suspended inside a vast skeleton of darkness. Most of the galaxy's mass does not lie in the stars. It lies beyond them, inside the halo of dark matter, a colossal structure stretching far beyond the spiral arms that humans see in the night sky. Without it, the galaxy would not exist. The stars would scatter. Planetary systems would drift into empty space. The immense structure humans call home would collapse. That is the greatest revelation. The thing holding the galaxy together is the very thing no one can see. But the secrets of the Milky Way do not end there. The storyteller turns his gaze toward the center of the galaxy, where the light of billions of stars is packed so densely that the sky there almost glows continuously. From Earth, humans see only a faint luminous region in the constellation Sagittarius. Thick clouds of dust hide most of the true scene. But if that dust vanished, the sight would leave anyone breathless. At the center of the galaxy, there is a monster. Not a roaring monster, not a burning sphere of fire, but an emptiness, a perfect black point in the fabric of space. Sagittarius, a star, a supermassive black hole. Its mass is about 4 million times greater than the Sun, yet its size is so small that all of that mass is compressed into a region of space smaller than the orbit of the planet Mercury. The storyteller sees stars racing around it at terrifying speed. Some stars circle the galactic center so quickly that they complete an entire orbit in only a few years. They are pulled into the dance of gravity, unable to escape. The curved paths of their orbits were the first evidence that allowed scientists to confirm the existence of that invisible monster. But the next revelation is even more astonishing. Today, Sagittarius A star is relatively quiet. It consumes matter slowly. There are no enormous jets of radiation blasting outward like those seen in more active galaxies. Yet the traces within the Milky Way suggest that in the past, it was not nearly so calm. The storyteller sees two colossal structures stretching upward and downward from the center of the galaxy. Two enormous bubbles glowing in gamma rays. They extend for tens of thousands of light years. Scientists call them the Fermi bubbles. These vast bubbles of energy look like the scars of an ancient eruption. In the distant past, the central black hole may have consumed a massive amount of matter and then blasted enormous streams of energy through the galaxy. A time when the center of the Milky Way may have shone like a quasar, a cosmic lighthouse brighter than billions of stars. But today, everything is quiet. The black hole sleeps, the galaxy turns, the stars continue their orbits, and somewhere on a small planet orbiting an ordinary star, a human being is sleeping without knowing that directly above them, an entire galaxy is being held together by invisible forces and a gravitational monster at its center. The storyteller watches this scene with an ancient calm. because this is the true nature of the universe. A place where the most powerful things are invisible, where the largest structures are hidden, and where the deepest secrets reveal themselves only to those patient enough to look longer into the night sky. In the darkness between the stars, there is a truth that makes even the calmest scientists fall silent when they realize it. The Milky Way is not just a galaxy. It is a colossal engine of rebirth, a machine that never stops creating stars, destroying stars, and then using their ashes to build new worlds. Inside that machine, everything is crushed and born again. The storyteller sees this cycle as clearly as watching the tides rise and fall across the ocean. He looks into the dark regions of the galaxy, where the light of stars suddenly disappears, as if the sky has been torn open into vast patches of black. To the human eye, those regions look like empty space, but in reality, that is where the real story begins. These are giant molecular clouds, immense masses of cold gas stretching across hundreds of light years. Within their darkness, the temperature falls so low that atoms nearly stop moving. Hydrogen gathers into molecules. Cosmic dust drifts like ancient ashes. There is no intense light, no chaos of young stars, only silence. Yet inside that silence, gravity begins its work. Small regions within the cloud grow denser. Matter starts to gather. Gas is pulled inward toward the center. Pressure rises. Temperature rises, slowly and patiently as millions of years pass in darkness. Then suddenly a star ignites. Its first light pierces the thick dust like a torch lit inside an ancient cavern. Nuclear fusion begins. Hydrogen transforms into helium. Energy erupts from the core of the newborn star. A new sun is born. The storyteller sees thousands of stars forming like this at the same time inside regions known as stellar nurseries, vast gardens where stars are born. Enormous clouds of gas glow in shades of blue and violet, illuminated by the young stars that have just ignited. The sight is so beautiful it almost feels unreal. But the turning point of the story lies on the other side of a star's life. No star lives forever. Massive stars burn fast and violently, consuming their fuel like gigantic flames. Inside their cores, nuclear reactions create heavier and heavier elements. Carbon, oxygen, silicon, iron, the elements that will one day become bone, blood, and the rocks of planets. Then one day, when the core of the star can no longer bear the weight of itself, disaster arrives. The star collapses, and then it explodes. A supernova. Its light can outshine an entire galaxy for a brief moment. Shockwaves race outward at terrifying speed, crushing nearby clouds of gas. Yet at the same time, they sow the seeds for the next generation of stars. Because within that explosion, every heavy element is thrown into space: iron, gold, calcium, uranium. Those atoms drift across the galaxy like cosmic dust. They mix into clouds of gas. They become the raw material for new stars, new planets, and one day, for life itself. The storyteller sees this cycle repeating again and again throughout the history of the Milky Way. Stars are born, stars burn, stars die, and their ashes build the next generation. A colossal cycle, a rebirth that never stops. But the story is still not finished. Between the stars, space is not empty, as humans once believed. The storyteller sees a delicate ocean of gas, dust, and plasma. Astronomers call it the interstellar medium, an ocean that is almost invisible yet far from quiet. Shockwaves from supernovae sweep through it like storms. Stellar winds from young stars blow streams of matter stretching for tens of light years. The galaxy's magnetic fields bend strands of gas into complex structures like enormous cosmic webs. The space between stars is like an ocean slowly churning, an ocean where stars are born. But the final revelation of this part lies in a truth that makes anyone pause for a moment to think. Every atom in the human body has passed through this cycle. The iron in human blood once lay inside the core of a dead star. The calcium in human bones was once thrown into space by a supernova explosion. The oxygen in human lungs was forged inside the nuclear furnace of an ancient sun. Humans do not merely live in the Milky Way, they are created from its very cycle. The storyteller looks down at a room where a human is still sleeping. They believe they are only a small creature on a small planet. But if they could see the true history of every atom inside their body, they would realize something astonishing. They are not just residents of the galaxy. They are the product of dead stars, stars that once burned brilliantly, exploded, and left their ashes drifting through the universe for billions of years before becoming part of the human body. And while that human sleeps, the cycle continues. Somewhere in the Milky Way, new stars are being born. Somewhere else, a star is preparing to explode. And from its ashes, one day, new worlds will be created. There is a question that has troubled astronomers for centuries, a question so simple that it seems it should have a clear answer. What does the Milky Way truly look like? It sounds strange. Humans live inside this galaxy. They see it every night, a faint band of light stretching across the sky like a river of silver. But that very fact is the greatest problem. We are inside it. And when you are inside a forest, no one can see the entire forest. The storyteller sees this paradox clearly. He watches people standing beneath the night sky, lifting their eyes toward that fragile strip of light and believing they understand it, when in truth, they are only looking along a path filled with stars, like someone standing deep in a forest and staring down an endless line of tree trunks. From the inside, the galaxy looks like a band of light. From the outside, it is a colossal structure. The storyteller pulls back from the Milky Way, moving beyond the clouds of stars, beyond the dark halo, until the entire galaxy appears within view. And there, the truth reveals itself. A gigantic disk of stars, spiral arms unfolding from the center like flowing streams of light, a structure stretching across hundreds of thousands of light years. Yet even that image is not the whole story. The first twist of this part lies at the center of the galaxy. Astronomers once believed that the center of a spiral galaxy was simply a dense spherical cluster of stars, a swollen region that was round and straightforward. But when they began observing the Milky Way with infrared telescopes capable of piercing through the thick dust, they discovered something unexpected. The center of the galaxy is not round, it is elongated. A massive bar of stars stretches across the galactic core, a structure known as the galactic bar. The storyteller sees this stellar bar slowly rotating within the heart of the Milky Way like a gigantic axis. Billions of stars move along it, guided by the gravity of the entire galaxy. This bar is not merely a shape, it is an engine. Its gravity pulls gas and dust from the spiral arms toward the center of the galaxy. Streams of matter flow along the bar like rivers of light pouring into the heart of the Milky Way, where the enormous black hole waits. But that is not the only twist. When astronomers mapped the central region in greater detail, they realized that the bulge of the galaxy was not smoothly rounded as once imagined. When viewed from the side, it has a strange shape, something like a peanut or an hourglass swollen at the middle. This is a three-dimensional structure formed as the stellar bar within the galaxy gradually bent and thickened over billions of years of motion. The stars in the central region do not simply orbit the galactic center. They move up and down as well, forming that complex shape. The Milky Way is not a simple disk. Its heart is more like a labyrinth. The storyteller looks deeper into this structure and discovers another secret. Inside the large stellar bar, there appears to be a smaller bar as well. A bar within a bar, a structure rotating in a slightly different direction. Smaller streams of stars rotate inside the larger one, like enormous gears within a cosmic machine. This galaxy is more complex than any illustration found in a book. Yet, the next revelation lies farther from the center. Most of the stars in the Milky Way lie within the galactic disk, a vast plane where the spiral arms extend outward. But this disk is not uniform. It has two layers, a thin layer and a thick layer. The storyteller sees the thin layer clearly. It is where young stars live, where clouds of gas are forming new stars, where bright open clusters shine. This is the brightest region of the galaxy, and it is also where the solar system exists. But above and below that thin layer, there is another layer, thicker and older. The stars in this thick disk are usually older and poorer in heavy elements. Their orbits are not flat, but tilted upward and downward, like birds flying through the sky rather than running along the ground. Scientists believe this thick disk may be the result of ancient collisions. When smaller galaxies crashed into the Milky Way in the distant past, they disturbed the orbits of stars, causing part of the galactic disk to swell into this thicker layer. The Milky Way carries the scars of its history, and they are still there. Yet the structure of the galaxy does not stop at the disk of stars. The storyteller pulls his vision even farther outward, beyond the light of the spiral arms. And there another immense structure appears, the halo. It is a vast region of space surrounding the entire galaxy. It is not bright, not dense. The stars within the halo are ancient and quiet. They travel along enormous orbits spanning hundreds of thousands of light years, taking billions of years to complete a single journey around the galaxy. But the halo does not contain only stars. It also holds globular clusters, dense spheres of stars where each cluster contains hundreds of thousands of ancient suns. Some of them have existed for more than 12 billion years, so ancient that they were formed when the universe itself was still very young. The storyteller sees these clusters drifting through the halo like old golden lanterns hanging in the darkness. They are not merely star clusters. They are time machines, relics from the earliest era of the galaxy. And when he looks again at the full structure of the Milky Way, from its complex core and slowly rotating stellar bar to its vast spiral arms and the ancient halo surrounding everything, one truth becomes clear. This galaxy is not a simple shape. It is a layered system, a colossal cosmic organism built over billions of years of collisions, motion, and evolution. And within that enormous body, the solar system is only a tiny point of light located in the thin disk of the galaxy, a modest position, a quiet corner. Yet, it is in that quiet corner that life has emerged. And tonight, when humans look up at the sky and see a fragile band of light, they have no idea that behind that band lies an immense structure slowly turning within the darkness of the universe. There is something even the night sky does not tell humans truthfully. When they look up and see thousands of stars sparkling above them, they believe that is everything, an ocean of light, a gigantic city of stars. But the truth is far more ruthless. What the human eye can see is only a drop within the vast ocean of the galaxy. The storyteller looks down at Earth and sees a perfect night sky. Far away from the lights of cities, beneath a deep dark sky, humans can see a few thousand stars. For many people, that sight alone is enough to overwhelm them, a sky full of light, a feeling as if they are standing before infinity. But if they knew the truth, they would realize they are seeing almost nothing at all. The Milky Way contains more than 100 billion stars. What the human eye can see is only an extremely tiny fraction, so small it is almost impossible to imagine. Most stars are hidden behind thick clouds of dust. Many stars are too distant for their light to ever reach the human retina, and countless others are simply too faint to be noticed by the naked eye. The storyteller looks at the faint band of light stretching across the night sky and knows it is not a simple stream of stars. It is light layered upon light. Billions of stars lie along the same line of sight, pouring their light into the same pale band, like looking down an endless road where lamps continue one after another until they merge into a single glowing line. But the first revelation of this part lies elsewhere. Even the stars humans cannot see are still not the whole galaxy. The storyteller looks deeper into the darkness between the stars, and there he sees another world existing, a world that does not shine, a world of gas, of dust, of streams of matter so thin the human eye cannot detect them. The interstellar medium. The space between stars is not empty at all. It is like a delicate ocean where hydrogen atoms, tiny grains of dust, and currents of plasma drift past each other in near-perfect silence. Yet this ocean is not calm. Supernova explosions sweep through it like enormous storms. Stellar winds from young stars create streams of matter stretching for tens of light years. The galaxy's magnetic fields pull threads of gas into complex structures that resemble gigantic webs. The space between stars is like an ocean slowly being stirred, an ocean where everything drifts. But the next revelation is even stranger. The storyteller sees an invisible current of energy flowing through the galaxy. Not light, not stellar wind, high-energy particles. Scientists call them cosmic rays. These are protons and atomic nuclei traveling at nearly the speed of light, launched from exploding stars and other violent events across the galaxy. They shoot through space, collide with clouds of gas, bend under magnetic fields, and then continue their journeys. And the astonishing truth is that right now, thousands of these particles are passing through every human body. They cause no pain. They leave no trace. They are simply ancient messages from stellar explosions that occurred long before Earth even existed. The storyteller looks deeper into this stream of energy and discovers an even more mysterious particle. Neutrinos. Particles that have almost no mass, particles that barely interact with anything at all. Trillions of neutrinos pass through every human body every second. They come from the core of the sun, from distant stars, from supernova explosions, yet they are almost never stopped. They pass through planets, through bodies, through entire galaxies, like ghosts of the universe. Scientists must build enormous observatories deep underground or beneath the ice of Antarctica just to catch a few rare collisions from them. Those tiny interactions carry information from places where light cannot escape, from the cores of stars, from cosmic explosions, from the darkest regions of the galaxy. The storyteller looks across the entire Milky Way and sees that it is not only a galaxy of light, it is a symphony of energy. Radio waves emerging from cold hydrogen clouds, X-rays flaring from neutron stars and black holes, gamma rays flashing from violent cosmic collisions, cosmic rays racing through the galaxy, neutrinos drifting through everything, a colossal symphony that the human eye cannot hear. But the final revelation of this part lies in another truth. Humans believe the night sky is a quiet scene, a peaceful dome above them. Yet in reality, the galaxy is vibrating with countless forms of energy that our senses cannot perceive. What the human eye sees is only a very narrow band within the entire energy spectrum of the universe, like hearing a vast piece of music but catching only a single note. The storyteller looks down at Earth once more. A human is sleeping. They believe the night is quiet, that the sky is silent, but the truth is completely different. Right above them, the galaxy is whispering in thousands of forms of energy. Invisible rays are passing through. Ancient particles are traveling across space. Waves of energy are trembling between the stars. A colossal symphony of the universe, and humans, even without hearing it, are drifting within that music. There is a secret that makes even the most seasoned astronomers fall silent when they realize it. The Milky Way is not standing still. It is moving. The entire galaxy, with hundreds of billions of stars, is rushing through space like a colossal ship in the darkness of the universe. And humans are on that ship, yet they do not feel the motion. The storyteller looks at the solar system, a small star system resting modestly within a minor branch of the galaxy known as the Orion Spur. There, the sun orbits the center of the Milky Way at an astonishing speed, more than 800,000 kilometers per hour. A speed fast enough to circle Earth many times in a single day. But the galaxy is enormous, and the orbit is vast, so even at that speed, the sun still needs about 230 million years to complete a single revolution around the center of the galaxy, a galactic year. The storyteller sees that immense span of time stretching across the history of Earth. When the sun completed its last orbit, dinosaurs had not yet appeared, and the continents were still drifting together into giant supercontinents. Throughout its entire lifetime, the sun has completed only about 20 revolutions around the galaxy, only 20 times. On the timescale of the Milky Way, the solar system is still almost a child. But the first twist of this part lies elsewhere. The sun does not only orbit the galaxy, it also oscillates. The storyteller sees the path of the solar system like a slow wave. As it circles the galactic center, it also moves up and down relative to the plane of the galactic disk, rising and then falling in a cycle that lasts tens of millions of years, like a boat drifting across the surface of a cosmic ocean. Some scientists have wondered whether this motion might be connected to cycles of extinction on Earth. When the solar system passes through denser regions of the galaxy, the cosmic environment could become more dangerous, though the evidence is still unclear. Even so, it reminds humans that the solar system is not stationary in the universe. It is drifting, always drifting. But the next revelation is far greater. The storyteller moves slightly away from the Milky Way and looks farther into the darkness, and there another galaxy appears, a spiral galaxy larger, brighter, and slowly approaching, Andromeda. The distance between the two galaxies is currently more than 2 million light years, an immense gulf of space. Yet gravity is pulling them together, slowly and inevitably. With every passing second, the two galaxies move closer, and in about 4.5 billion years, the unavoidable will happen. The two galaxies will collide. It sounds like a catastrophic cosmic disaster, but the reality is different. Unlike planets or asteroids, stars inside galaxies are separated by enormous distances. So vast that when two galaxies pass through one another, most stars will not collide directly at all. Yet the gravity of hundreds of billions of stars will stretch the structure of both galaxies. Their spiral arms will be drawn out into immense streams of stars. Rivers of starlight will be thrown into space like glowing strands of silk. The two supermassive black holes at the center of each galaxy will slowly move closer to one another, and eventually, after billions of years of circling together, they will merge. Two galaxies will become one, forming a new galaxy. The storyteller sees that scene unfolding slowly in the distant future, a colossal gravitational dance lasting billions of years. Not a violent explosion, but a cosmic blending, a new galaxy born from two older ones. Yet the next twist lies in a truth that few people know. The Milky Way is not alone. It is part of a small family in the universe known as the Local Group, a collection of more than 50 galaxies bound together by gravity. Some smaller galaxies orbit the Milky Way like satellites, fragile dwarf galaxies, many of them being stretched and torn apart by the gravity of the larger galaxy. The storyteller sees long streams of stars wrapping around the Milky Way like faint ribbons of mist. These are the remains of smaller galaxies that were devoured in the past. The Sagittarius dwarf galaxy is one such victim. Even now, it is being ripped apart, its stars pulled into long streams that surround the galaxy. The Milky Way grows by consuming smaller galaxies. It is a patient giant, a slow hunter. Yet the final revelation of this part lies in a quiet corner of the galaxy. The storyteller looks at the position of the solar system, not in the bright center, not within a major spiral arm, but between two large arms inside a small and relatively calm branch, a suburban neighborhood of the galaxy. That modest position may be the very reason life exists. In the galactic center, the density of stars is far greater. Supernova explosions occur more frequently, radiation is more intense, and gravitational forces are more chaotic. At the outer edges of the galaxy, there is too little material to form many rocky planets. But in the middle region where the solar system resides, conditions appear just stable enough, a region that could be called the habitable zone of the galaxy. A wide band stretching tens of thousands of light years where life may have the chance to appear. The storyteller looks down at Earth once again, a small planet orbiting an ordinary star in a quiet corner of a vast moving galaxy. Humans believe they live on a planet, but the truth is that they are traveling through the universe together with the sun, together with the Milky Way, aboard a colossal cosmic vessel made of hundreds of billions of stars, silently drifting through the endless darkness of the universe. There is a truth that makes humans feel smaller than anything they have ever known. The Milky Way is not the center of the universe. It is not even a particularly special galaxy. It is only one among hundreds of billions of galaxies drifting through the endless expanse of space. But the true story of this final part is not about the number of galaxies. It lies in a deeper secret, one that makes even the calmest scientists pause when they think about it. We do not simply live in the Milky Way. We are made from it. The storyteller looks at the history of the galaxy as if reading an ancient chronicle written in light. Over more than 13 billion years of existence, the Milky Way has never stopped changing. Spiral arms formed and then slowly warped. Stellar bars appeared in the center and gradually shifted their shape. Clouds of gas flowed inward and were pushed outward again. Stars were born, shone for ages, and eventually died. No part of the galaxy is truly permanent. Even its overall shape is slowly evolving over billions of years. The storyteller sees waves of gravity passing through the galaxy. Not waves of water, not waves of sound, but ripples in the very fabric of space and time. When two enormous black holes collide somewhere far away in the universe, those ripples spread outward in every direction. They travel through galaxies, through star systems, through the Milky Way itself. They pass through Earth. No one can feel them, yet delicate instruments such as LIGO and Virgo have detected them. Tiny vibrations in space, so small that they change the length of a measuring arm by less than the width of an atom. Those ripples carry messages from cosmic collisions that happened billions of years ago. The universe is not silent, it is vibrating. But the next twist in the story lies in the darkest region of the galaxy. The storyteller looks toward the halo of the Milky Way, the vast region of space surrounding the galactic disk. It is not bright and not dense, yet it hides a great secret. Wandering planets, rogue planets, worlds with no sun. Some were born normally inside star systems and later thrown out by gravitational forces. Others may have formed alone inside cold clouds of gas. No starlight shines upon them. No sky filled with stars above them. Only darkness. Studies suggest there may be billions of such planets drifting through the Milky Way, spheres of rock or frozen ice quietly moving through the space between stars, orphan worlds. The storyteller sees them gliding through the halo like silent ghosts. Yet even in that darkness, the galaxy never stops changing. Streams of gas from the larger universe are flowing into the galaxy through vast structures of the cosmic web, immense filaments of matter millions of light years long that connect galaxies together. The Milky Way is drinking from those invisible rivers. Fresh gas flows into the galactic disk. Older gas is blasted upward into the halo by stellar explosions and later falls back again in a cycle called the galactic fountain, much like water evaporating from the ocean and falling back as rain. The galaxy is breathing. It inhales matter from the universe and exhales energy from dying stars. Yet the final revelation of the entire story lies in something much closer. The storyteller looks at a human sleeping on Earth, a tiny creature on a small planet orbiting an ordinary star. From the distance of the galaxy, humans almost do not exist, a speck of dust, a fleeting moment. But when the storyteller looks deeper, something remarkable appears. The atoms inside the human body were not created on Earth. The carbon inside human cells was forged in the cores of ancient stars. The oxygen in human lungs was born in nuclear reactions deep within suns that have long since died. The iron in human blood was once forged in the immense explosions of supernovae. Every atom inside a human body traveled through the galaxy for billions of years before becoming part of them. Humans do not simply live inside the galaxy. They are the product of its history, and while they sleep, the Milky Way continues its story. Somewhere within the spiral arms, new stars are forming inside cold clouds of gas. Somewhere else, an aging star is collapsing, preparing to erupt as a supernova. In the distant halo, ancient star clusters still drift slowly like lanterns from the dawn of the universe. And the entire galaxy continues to rotate, slowly and silently, a single revolution lasting hundreds of millions of years, a story lasting billions of years. Within that immense story, humanity is only a very small chapter, yet it is also the only chapter in which the universe can look back and observe itself. There is one final truth that most people have never heard, a truth so profound that even astronomers who have spent their entire lives studying the Milky Way sometimes fall silent when they think about it. Our galaxy is not finished. It is still being built, even right now. The storyteller looks at the Milky Way as if it were a vast cosmic construction site that is still incomplete. In the imagination of many people, a galaxy seems like a finished structure, stable and eternal, like a perfect clock turning forever in space. But the reality is very different. A galaxy is something alive, not alive in the biological sense, but alive in the sense of evolution. It changes, it grows, it absorbs, it restructures itself across billions of years. And part of that process is unfolding in the sky above us. The storyteller turns their gaze toward the southern sky of Earth, where two faint patches of light can be seen even with the naked eye: the Large Magellanic Cloud and the Small Magellanic Cloud. Two dwarf galaxies orbiting the Milky Way like enormous satellites. For centuries, humans believed they had always been long-time companions of our galaxy. But modern measurements have revealed a remarkable twist. They may have arrived only recently. The storyteller sees their motion through space. Data from modern telescopes show that their speeds are much higher than previously predicted. This suggests that these two galaxies may be making their very first visit, cosmic travelers that have only recently been captured by the gravity of the Milky Way. And their arrival has left visible traces. The disk of our galaxy is bending. At its outer edges, the plane of stars is no longer flat. It curves upward on one side and downward on the other, like a vast sheet being pulled out of alignment. A giant ripple in the structure of the galaxy. Astronomers believe the gravity of the Magellanic Clouds is responsible. A new visitor has arrived, and the galaxy is reacting. But the next twist is even more spectacular. The storyteller looks behind those two dwarf galaxies and sees a colossal trail of matter stretching across space, the Magellanic Stream. A river of hydrogen gas extending for hundreds of thousands of light years, curving across the sky like an invisible current. This gas has been pulled away from the dwarf galaxies by the gravity of the Milky Way. Parts of them are being torn apart. Yet the galaxy does not only destroy, it recycles. The storyteller knows that this stream of gas may one day fall into the galactic disk. And when that happens, it will become fuel for new generations of stars, stars that have never existed before, suns that have never been born. A galaxy does not merely consume smaller galaxies, it transforms their matter into its own future. But the next twist lies deeper inside the structure of the galaxy. The storyteller looks at clouds of gas that do not lie within the plane of the stellar disk. Some clouds move across the galaxy on almost vertical paths, polar gas clouds. They travel along steeply tilted orbits, cutting through the galactic plane like enormous comets made of gas. These strange paths are often the remnants of ancient collisions. Every unusual orbit is a trace of history, a memory of the galaxy. Yet the galaxy does not only remember the past, it also creates new structures. The storyteller sees enormous bubbles of gas forming within the galactic disk. When many massive stars are born in the same region, they live fast and die quickly. Repeated supernova explosions blow away the surrounding gas, carving vast hollow cavities into the interstellar medium, structures known as superbubbles. As these bubbles grow larger, they can punch through the galactic disk and open enormous chimneys that reach up into the halo, galactic chimneys. Through these chimneys, hot gas and energy escape from the galactic disk and eventually fall back again. The galaxy is breathing. Hot gas rises, cold gas falls back down, an immense cycle that lasts millions of years. But the final twist of this part lies in a detail so small that it is easy to overlook. The storyteller looks at tiny grains of dust drifting between the stars, microscopic particles of carbon and silicate only a few micrometers in size. They seem insignificant, yet within them scientists have discovered complex organic molecules, hydrocarbons, molecules with structures similar to the chemical compounds that form the basis of life on Earth. These dust grains drift through the galaxy for millions of years. They become part of vast clouds of gas. And when those clouds collapse to form new stars and planets, the molecules travel with them. Some of them may even have fallen onto the young Earth long ago. The storyteller looks down once more at that small planet, a blue world orbiting an ordinary star inside a galaxy that is still evolving. Humans often think of the galaxy as the background of the story, but the truth is different. The galaxy itself is the story, a story that has not yet ended. A story still being written in the light of stars, in the streams of gas torn from smaller galaxies, and in cosmic dust carrying the chemical seeds of life. And somewhere within that immense story, a small species lifts its head toward the sky, trying to understand the cosmic home in which it lives. There is a question humanity has quietly wondered about for centuries, a question that does not appear in textbooks and is not marked on the familiar maps of the stars. Does the Milky Way remember its past? It sounds strange. A galaxy has no memory, no brain, no consciousness. Yet the storyteller knows that every galaxy carries its history within it, carved into the motions of its stars, written in the chemistry of their light, and hidden in the strange orbits silently turning in the dark. The Milky Way is a vast chronicle. Every star is a line of text, every orbit a story. The storyteller looks deep into the halo of the galaxy, where the oldest stars drift quietly along paths that stretch for hundreds of thousands of light years. These stars are different from most of the stars in the galactic disk. They are poor in metals, containing very few heavy elements such as iron or calcium. This reveals something important. These stars were born when the universe was still very young, before many generations of stars had lived and died to create heavier elements. Some of them are nearly as old as the universe itself, more than 13 billion years. The storyteller notices a remarkable star among them, a faint and modest star drifting through the distant halo. It contains almost no metals at all, a sign that it formed very soon after the Big Bang, as one of the oldest stars ever discovered, a living relic from the earliest era of the universe. But the first twist of this part lies somewhere else, not in the light of stars, but in their motion. When astronomers began measuring the orbits of millions of stars with extraordinary precision, they realized that not all stars in the Milky Way move the same way. Some stars orbit the galaxy in the opposite direction. These are retrograde stars. While most stars rotate in the same direction as the galactic disk, these stars move against the flow, like boats traveling upstream through a river of stars. There is only one explanation. They were not born here. The storyteller sees the distant past of the Milky Way unfolding. Billions of years ago, our galaxy collided with many smaller galaxies. When those galaxies were torn apart by the immense gravity of the Milky Way, their stars were scattered through space. Some of them kept their original paths, moving in reverse directions. Every such star is a cosmic immigrant, a survivor from a galaxy that no longer exists. But the next twist becomes even clearer when scientists began studying the chemical composition of stars. Every star carries a chemical fingerprint. A star born from a cloud of gas rich in metals contains large amounts of iron, calcium, and carbon. A star formed earlier contains far fewer of these elements. When astronomers compared these chemical fingerprints, they discovered groups of stars with nearly identical compositions, families of stars that were once born from the same ancient cloud of gas. Yet what is even more fascinating is that many groups of stars possess chemical compositions completely different from the rest of the galaxy. That means they originated in other galaxies. One of the largest collisions ever discovered is known as Gaia Enceladus. Billions of years ago, a large dwarf galaxy crashed into the Milky Way. That collision permanently reshaped the structure of our galaxy. Many stars in the halo and the thick disk today are the remains of that ancient impact. Our galaxy was not born as a complete structure. It was assembled piece by piece, galaxy by galaxy, stream by stream of stars. But the next twist lies in how scientists uncovered these secrets, not with a traditional telescope, but with a small spacecraft orbiting Earth. Gaia, the storyteller, watches this spacecraft traveling quietly through space. It is not large and not dramatic, yet its mission is extraordinarily ambitious. It measures the positions and motions of more than 2 billion stars in the Milky Way. 2 billion. Each star is measured with such precision that if it were placed on the moon, Gaia could determine its position to within just a few centimeters. From that data, scientists can construct the most detailed three-dimensional map of the galaxy ever created. And that map has revealed things never seen before. Streams of stars stretching across tens of thousands of light years, remnants of galaxies torn apart, waves of motion rippling through the galactic disk, the scars of ancient collisions. The galaxy does not simply rotate, it vibrates. But the final twist of this story lies somewhere very familiar. The storyteller turns to the sun, an ordinary star, not especially large and not especially bright, just a typical star among hundreds of billions of others. Yet even the sun carries the marks of the galaxy's history. Scientists believe the sun was born inside a large star cluster, where hundreds, perhaps thousands of stars formed together from the same cloud of gas, the siblings of the sun. Over time, that cluster slowly dissolved, and the stars drifted away along different orbits around the galaxy. Today, the sun's siblings could be anywhere in the Milky Way. Some might even be quite close, yet they have been lost within the vast sea of stars. The storyteller looks once more at the night sky. Thousands of stars shimmer in the darkness. Among them, there may be one that was born at the same moment as the sun, a long-lost sibling of the star that gave life to Earth. The galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stories like this, stories of collisions, birth, loss, and renewal. And humanity, though small, continues trying to read each line of the immense chronicle known as the Milky Way. There is one final secret that makes the story of the Milky Way stranger than anything humanity has ever imagined. When people look at the night sky, they often believe they are seeing the distant past. The light from the stars has traveled for hundreds, thousands, even millions of years before reaching Earth. But what makes the story even more astonishing is this. We are not only looking into the past of the stars, we are looking into the past of the galaxy itself. The storyteller gazes at the night sky as if it were a vast mirror of time. Every beam of light is an ancient message. Every star is a story traveling through space at the speed of light. Within that story exists some of the most mysterious characters of the galaxy, pulsars, the remnants of stars that have died. When a massive star ends its life in a supernova explosion, its core can collapse into a neutron star, a sphere of matter so dense that it may be only a few dozen kilometers wide, yet contain more mass than the sun. These neutron stars spin at extraordinary speeds, some rotating hundreds of times every second. As they spin, they emit powerful beams of radiation from their two magnetic poles. If those beams sweep across Earth, we observe steady pulses of light, the heartbeat of the universe. Pulsars are like cosmic clocks of astonishing precision. Some keep time more steadily than the finest atomic clocks on Earth. The storyteller sees thousands of pulsars scattered across the Milky Way, blinking in the darkness like cosmic lighthouses. They are not only the remains of dead stars, they are the timekeepers of the galaxy. Yet the first twist of this part lies in how scientists use them. By monitoring signals from many pulsars at once, astronomers can detect extremely tiny ripples in space known as gravitational waves. These ripples may come from pairs of supermassive black holes orbiting each other in distant galaxies. When those waves pass through the Milky Way, they change the distance between pulsars and Earth by an unimaginably small amount, so small it is almost impossible to picture. Yet pulsars still record the change. These cosmic clocks are helping humanity listen to the heartbeat of the universe. But the galaxy does not speak only through light and gravitational waves. The storyteller turns to another kind of signal, radio waves. Much of the structure of the Milky Way is hidden by cosmic dust. Visible light cannot pass through the thick clouds of dust within the galactic disk. Radio waves can. With enormous radio telescopes, scientists can map the cold hydrogen gas spread throughout the galaxy. These maps allowed humanity to recognize the spiral shape of the Milky Way, the spiral arms, the vast gas clouds, the regions where stars are being born, places the human eye could never see. Yet the next twist of the story lies in something very familiar, the night sky itself. The storyteller looks at the faint glowing band stretching across the heavens. Humans call it the Milky Way, the river of milk across the sky. But from Earth, we see the galaxy only from the inside. It is like standing in the middle of a forest and looking along the rows of trees. We cannot see the entire shape of the forest. We only see the trunks stretching toward the horizon. For centuries, humans did not realize they were living inside a gigantic spiral galaxy. Only when astronomers began mapping the positions of thousands of stars did they finally uncover the truth. The Milky Way is a galaxy, one among countless galaxies. Yet the final twist of this part lies in something even more profound. The storyteller looks down at Earth, where a human being lifts their eyes to the sky. They see distant stars. They see a faint glowing band. They believe they are only observers, someone standing outside the story. But the truth is different. Humans are not outside the galaxy. They are part of it. Every atom within their bodies once drifted through the gas clouds of the Milky Way, passed through ancient stellar explosions, wandered for millions of years through the interstellar medium before becoming part of Earth. The galaxy does not only create stars, it creates beings capable of looking back at it. The storyteller lifts their gaze toward the sky one last time. The Milky Way continues to turn. Pulsars continue to flash, new stars continue to be born. Old stars continue to die. And within that slow movement, the galaxy continues telling its story, a story longer than any civilization, yet also a story that humanity, though small, has begun to understand little by little. There is a truth that surprises many people the first time they hear it. If a creature in a distant galaxy looked toward the Milky Way, it would not see what humans see each night. It would not see a faint band of light stretching across the sky. It would see a vast whirl of light, a spiral galaxy slowly turning in the darkness of the universe. Yet, what makes the story even stranger is this. If that distant observer looked more closely, they would notice that the galaxy is not perfectly symmetrical, not completely round, not entirely flawless. The Milky Way is slightly tilted and uneven. The storyteller moves farther away from the galaxy once again, far enough to see its full form. From that distance, the Milky Way appears like a colossal luminous disk with gentle spiral arms extending outward from the center. But when examined carefully, the asymmetry becomes visible. One side of the disk is thicker than the other. Some spiral arms are longer and brighter than the rest. The halo of the galaxy is not perfectly centered. The galaxy resembles a dancer spinning in the wind, its skirt of stars pulled slightly out of shape by invisible forces. The storyteller knows that these distortions are not flaws. They are memories, memories of cosmic collisions. Every time a smaller galaxy drifts too close, the immense gravity of the Milky Way pulls it inward, not through a sudden violent crash, but through a slow process that can last hundreds of millions of years. The smaller galaxy stretches apart. Its stars are torn loose. Delicate streams of stars begin to form, stellar streams. The storyteller sees these streams wrapping around the galaxy like ribbons of light, the remnants of galaxies that once existed. They are not completely destroyed. They are dissolved. Each stream of stars is a story of a galaxy that once lived. Yet the first twist of this part appears in an unexpected place: globular clusters. When astronomers examine the halo of the Milky Way, they find more than 150 globular clusters, enormous spherical gatherings of stars containing hundreds of thousands of ancient suns, golden spheres of light drifting through the halo of the galaxy. What makes them remarkable is not their beauty, but their age. Some of these clusters have existed for more than 12 billion years. They were born when the universe was still young, before the Milky Way had fully formed its present structure. This means that some globular clusters in the halo may have existed before the galaxy itself became complete. They are ancient witnesses, relics from the dawn of the universe. The next twist appears in the way these clusters move. Unlike the stars in the galactic disk that orbit neatly around the center, globular clusters travel along long, tilted, and often unusual paths. Some sweep across the halo along enormous arcs stretching hundreds of thousands of light years. Others follow nearly vertical orbits that slice through the plane of the galaxy. These motions resemble the traces of ancient impacts. The galaxy preserves its history, not only in the light of stars, but in their movement. Yet the next twist in the story lies within the most crowded places of the galaxy, the cores of globular clusters. Space there is so crowded that stars lie thousands of times closer together than the stars near the sun. In those dense stellar cities, something rare but real can happen. Stars can collide. The storyteller watches a rare event within an ancient cluster. Two old stars orbit one another in a tight path. Over millions of years, gravity draws them closer together, until one day they merge and a new star appears, younger and brighter. Astronomers call these stars blue stragglers. While the rest of the cluster has aged and reddened over time, these stars appear unexpectedly young, as if they had just been born. Once again, the galaxy shows that death is not always the end. Sometimes two aging stars combine to create a new one. Yet the final twist of this part lies in something much smaller. Astronomers have discovered that even binary star systems, pairs of stars orbiting each other for billions of years, are not completely safe. If such a pair wanders too close to the center of the galaxy, the immense gravity of the supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A star can tear their bond apart. One star is captured and pulled inward. The other is hurled outward at tremendous speed. These ejected stars are known as hypervelocity stars. They escape the galaxy, leaving behind the home that formed them and becoming solitary travelers in the vast space between galaxies. The storyteller sees one such star racing through the darkness, its light growing fainter as the distance increases, a lonely beacon drifting into the endless void. Behind it, the Milky Way continues to turn. The spiral arms keep moving. Ancient star clusters still drift through the halo. Smaller galaxies continue to be drawn inward. The galaxy is not perfect. It is tilted, warped, and marked with scars. Yet those scars are exactly what tell its true story. A story not about perfection, but about survival, collisions, and the endless turning within the darkness of the universe. Perhaps by now, the sky in your mind has become quieter. The spiral arms of the Milky Way are still slowly turning in the darkness. New stars are still being born. Other stars are quietly fading away. And somewhere within that vast galaxy, the story is still being written in light. If this journey has made you feel calm, curious, or simply helped your mind slow down after a long day, take a moment to like the video. That small gesture helps quiet science stories like this reach more people who may also need a peaceful moment beneath the starry sky. If you would like to continue these slow journeys through the universe, through the history of stars, black holes, and the deepest mysteries of galaxies, consider subscriing to the channel. Each new video will be another journey, another chapter in the immense chronicle of the universe. And now, let your mind drift gently like a small star within the quiet spiral arms of the Milky Way. The sky is still there, the galaxy is still turning, and tonight you are resting in the middle of the greatest story ever told. Sleep well.